Hi, Alexi here. Welcome back to my channel, where I do think every so often about the alternate universe where I fell down the alt-right pipeline because I watched too many of Shane Dawson's stupid conspiracy theory videos when I was in middle school. James Charles. So this all started a few days ago when Spirit Airlines very abruptly announced that they were ceasing all operations and shutting down as a company. This actually had sort of been on the horizon for a while, I would say. A couple of years ago, Spirit Airlines did try to merge with JetBlue because they were losing wild amounts of money. That was blocked, but Trump's war with Iran was sort of like the nail in the coffin because fuel prices are so high right now. And on a selfish level, as a young traveler, this really sucks. The only reason that I could afford to travel to see my friends during college breaks was because of Spirit Airlines' really cheap airfare, and without budget airlines setting competitive prices, just prices from major airlines are very likely to rise because they can price tickets more. And flying is already so expensive right now. But you know who this sucks more for is the thousands of Spirit Airlines employees that were suddenly made redundant. Which brings us to the current drama, which is one employee that was laid off messaged James Charles asking him to donate to their GoFundMe. Roll James Charles's response because he was not happy about that.
You know what else would help you? Getting another job. Yeah, try that. Because in the time that it took you to copy and paste the same ass message to myself, who you don't follow, by the way, and probably 100 other influencers and celebrities, you could have applied for 100 other jobs, but you didn't because you're a lazy piece of shit and you're entitled. And you think that influencers and celebrities should fund your life for you. Why would I ever help you? You're not a fan. You don't even follow me. You've never supported me. This is your first time DMing. And you think that I'm gonna send you money because you lost your job? Oh my God, welcome to the real world, sweetheart.
Yeah, I'm sure y'all have seen that clip. And he did apologize. I'm sure it was very genuine. That was sarcasm, by the way. And I think it sort of goes without saying that this was super insensitive because the job market right now is shit. Like, I joke about it in some of my other videos, but I'm a recent grad and I have probably applied to conservatively hundreds of jobs. So his response of, well, instead of copy and pasting this to hundreds of celebrities, why don't you copy and paste a bunch of job applications, is very insensitive, especially because he's been famous since he was 16. He has, I would say, probably never applied for a job, but I don't know him, I don't know his life, but I do feel very confident in saying that. Also, that is bad advice. Don't do that. Have a form cover letter and sort of tweak it a little bit for each job application. That way it's streamlined, but you're also personalizing things a little bit. Yeah, this is crazy, but don't follow James Charles's job application advice. And I've seen some people speculating that he was doing all of this for attention and for people to be talking about him. But I actually don't think that's the case. I think that if you have been rich and famous for 10 years, in the way that he has, have been getting brand deals, haven't had to apply to jobs, I think that you end up sort of out of touch. I think that he was 100% genuine making that video. I don't know that, obviously, but that's just what I think. It also honestly kind of reminds me of influencers that were getting canceled a few months ago for being sort of out of touch financially as well, posting videos so I blacked out and I went on a luxury shopping spree.
So, I blacked out. Kind of bad.
And influencers being confused why their luxury shopping spree wealth-related content wasn't getting as many views anymore. And you and I know, right? It's because people are struggling so hard financially that it's just not relatable. But they're so out of touch, they genuinely don't understand that. And I think that is the case for James Charles. And part of why I do think that he was being genuine posting this video and it wasn't just like rage bait is that I don't think he was ever really canceled. Basically, I think it was 2021, a bunch of allegations came out against him of messaging underage fans and just generally grooming. He did come out with a video that was like holding myself accountable, where he said all of the victims lied and said they were 18 when he messaged them, which, like, first of all, they clearly were not 18. Just looking at them. Second of all, you're telling me, I think there were at least 5 victims, and you're telling me all of them were lying? Sure, James. I think somebody came out like 5 months ago or so talking about how he like messaged him inappropriate things when he was 14. James Charles also, even before all these allegations came out, he was on Logan and Jake Paul's podcast and bragging about how he only was attracted to younger people, like freshly 18 people or people who looked younger, and how he would hold his financial situation over them and sort of offer to fly them out to him, which feels like an abuse of power to me, especially when he's bragging about doing that to younger college aged people who don't have as much money and are therefore more vulnerable.
I've talked to a lot of different guys that that live in different states as well. This is a better example than just a dinner. Like I've talked to guys that live in different states and stuff, and I'm like, hey, like why don't you come visit? And like, well, I can't afford a plane ticket. Yep. And it's like, okay, well, I can. So like, get on the plane. And like, well, I just don't really feel comfortable with that. But like, I love you and I really want to be together. And I'm like, well, we can't be together because you can't afford a plane ticket. You're probably still in either high school or college, like a senior in high school or in college. Right. So like, either you accept the flight and realize that like this is what I'm bringing to the relationship so we can spend time together if you actually care about me. Yep. Or we literally never meet.
So yeah, he's been weird. He's been known to be weird. And yet he still has an audience. The fact that he's going viral now, I think does prove that. I was scrolling through his Instagram and his posts are still getting like thousands of likes, which also is how I found out that in his recent brand, I think it's like Pink Co. In his recent brand launch, the Instagram post used Israel Kamakavivo Ole's Somewhere Over the Rainbow as the song. And on Halloween, he dressed up as Holt Hyde. Get your grubby little hands off of the few men that I respect. Okay, James Charles? Fuck you for that. And he's recently collaborated with a bunch of influencers on his brand launch. He's still making a lot of money. He was at Coachella. He's not canceled. He's still making lots of money. He's still in the mainstream, if that makes sense. And it just sort of had me thinking about how so many of these YouTubers that were credibly accused of grooming and even admitted to it, allegedly, don't sue me, allegedly, still have careers. Like Shane Dawson is still making money. He has new stuff coming out recently. He still has subscribers. And he should be canceled for lots of things, man. Colleen Ballinger has gigs booked as of recently. And I think it is, partially because they are white. And I think it's also partially because there is like a lot of stigma around male victims of grooming and sexual assault. I have a lot of criticisms about the Tyler Catastrophe situation, but he is a good example of like how fans will sort of stand by their faves when their faves admit to being abusers and groomers, right? I'm not surprised that he still has a career and he still has all these eyes on him, to be honest. And I'm not surprised by his entitlement either. I'm gonna leave you with some words from the incredible Kat Black, who has a really good thread on this. Bear with me while I move my camera up. James Charles confidently coming to the internet to talk about how someone who just lost their job has audacity for reaching out to them without following them / supporting them is a really great acknowledgement of the fact that cancellation doesn't really exist. He's a gay man who was called out several times for interacting with minors in a way he should not have, and yet he felt so confident posting that video with the expectation that his audience, who is also largely going through a tough job market, would laugh and say, "Oh, gee, yeah, that's crazy." Just like Jeffree Star, yes. He's still gonna sell makeup and get brand deals because at the end of the day, he's white and makes sales. His cruelty is not actually off-putting to his audience of over consumers who have bought into capitalism, which already normalizes exploitation if it means high earnings. That's why he has a get another job dummy attitude about this, completely out of touch, purely capitalist. As a content creator, I get not posting GoFundMes because it can really be hard to know what you're posting and sharing and can't take the time to do your due diligence. That said, making that video crossed a line. It was only made to speak down to an impoverished person and to communicate they have little worth in comparison. I have shared GoFundMes from people who don't follow me. I know it's helpful to use my platform. It should be clear that he doesn't have the desire to use his platform beyond self-enrichment. Frankly, that's most content creators. I'm not going to act like it isn't a huge part of my job / survival, but it says something that he was so incensed by the very concept. This is another situation where I do feel a little bit complicated sort of giving him more attention, but I also do think it can be a vehicle for us to talk about how primarily white YouTube personalities who were accused of grooming still have careers that they can come back to. Like I said, Shane Dawson is making a comeback. I wouldn't be surprised if in a few years Colleen Ballinger is on fucking Netflix again. That Miranda Sings show was a dark time for society. Yeah, I don't know. Cancel culture is fake, especially for white celebrities. As usual, I just feel bad for the victims who are sort of having to relive everything as their abuser goes viral again. Thank you so much for watching. If you heard any weird noises, it was my very old dog who is very clingy, so he does get to hang out in my room. My outro will have pictures of him as Tax. This was more of an unscripted video. I've been doing some more of those. They're kind of fun. I can make more eye contact, which is good practice for me. My outro song is Take a Vacation by The Young Veins. All channel art is by me. Like, comment, subscribe. I especially love comments because, as you may have guessed, I do love to yap on the internet. I also love emails. My email is aluciasonline@gmail.com. I now have an Instagram, which is also Alexi's Online. I've been thinking about doing a 1K AMA, so if you have any questions for me, like, hit me up on any of those channels, I guess. But yeah, thank you so much again for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye now. I need to take a vacation.